Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out Monster Hunter Wilds. So I am planning on making some Monster Hunter Wilds content on the channel. First I'm going to get the game, of course, but before I do that, there are some issues with the game. So if we switch on over to this article over here, you guys can see that a lot of people are having issues with the performance of Monster Hunter Wilds on PC. When it comes to console, like on PlayStation or Xbox, it seems like the game is doing pretty well. There are some issues, but it's not as crazy as the game on PC. It seems like PC is close to unplayable, and a lot of people are complaining about frame drops, and it's just pixelated. So we're gonna go ahead and read through this. So it says it runs awful, looks awful. Monster Hunter Wilds performance issues put a dampener on its record-breaking concurrence as it sells into an early mixed rating on Steam. I'm now over 100 hours into Monster Hunter Wilds, yet between a respectable rig and a CPU upgrade a few hours into playing, I gotta say the game runs kinda bum. That seems to be the most commonly shared sentiment among the players' negative Steam reviews right now too, with the first few hours of launch seeing it dip below 50% positive into a mixed rating. Complaints about crashes, poor optimization, stutters, and frame rate dips are rife across its handful of negative reviews right now. This game is absolutely amazing, but has the worst optimization I've ever seen. The top negative review reads, I understand that new games are becoming more demanding and people are expected to upgrade, but this is absurd. I'm aware that this isn't the first instance of new games having poor performance on launch, because the same thing happened with World, but it feels inexcusable at this point. Now I will say, I did play Monster Hunter World, by the way, Fatalis. I did defeat Fatalis, but bro, that monster's a menace. But Monster Hunter World, I did play on my PlayStation, and it was pretty good. Like there was really nothing wrong with the game. But that was like after the game launched. Like I played Monster Hunter World, I think 3 years after the game launched. So I will say World feels pretty good on the console. I didn't play it on PC, but it seems like World had the same issue, but Wilds is worse. That's what I'm getting so far. One reviewer claimed that they were sporting a beefy rig with a 3080 Super and decent CPU, yet was unable to run the game. An acceptable frame rate. Another wrote, absolutely atrocious performance for how the game looks, runs even worse than the beta. Adding that they've gone from 60 to 70 FPS on high settings down to 50 FPS on medium with noticeable dips. The game does not look nearly good enough to warrant this performance, it continued. Everything is covered in a grimy texture with assets that look like you're straight took them out of a PS3 game. If I can run KCD2 and Cyberpunk on max settings comfortably, then there is no reason this game should be running like this. Embarrassing. So it seems like a lot of people are definitely having issues with optimization for Monster Hunter Wilds. And it's understandable, man. It's actually understandable. If I'm going to spend $70 to play a game and the graphics aren't even that good and it's like unplayable, then no, I'm definitely going to complain about that. But you can we can also say that there's definitely some people who don't have like the required like PC, like their PC is completely outdated and they're playing the game, Monster Hunter Wilds on an outdated PC, which is understandable. And you can't really complain if like your PC is just not up to date. You know what I'm saying? Of course you're gonna have issues, but it seems like it's mostly it's mostly players who have really, really well built PCs. Like you guys can clearly see that their PCs are insane, but the game is still poorly unoptimized on their high performing PCs, which is quite questionable. The performance to graphics ratio is a pervading criticism, with yet another negative review writing, this game has record shattering performance issues. It runs awful, it looks awful, it crashes for no reason, it freezes for no reason, it somehow won't even launch on Windows, telling me an RTX 4070 is unsupported. Open beta at least managed to boot. Here are some things reviewers said ran about Monster Hunter Wilds. We're not going to read through that. But it says dozens of reviews mention not even being able to play because of crashes, along with a handful referring to the game being too easy, or complaints around Capcom's ancient use of paid DLC in order for people to have access the full character creator once your hunter is already made. But we're not going to go through that. That's like a whole different topic. But yeah, it seems like the biggest complaint, like the main complaint that most people have with this game is that it's just poorly optimized on PC. When it comes to PlayStation, I haven't seen people complain about the game on PlayStation, but it's mostly on Steam. Like if you guys go check out the reviews on Steam, a lot of people are complaining about optimization issues, saying that the game is poorly optimized on PC. So honestly, I think I'm just gonna get the game on my PlayStation instead because I don't want to risk, playing the game on PC, spending $70 to play the game on PC and it's unplayable. That's gonna suck. So I'm gonna get the game on my PS5, but this is definitely concerning, and the developers should definitely get to the bottom of this and try to fix it. So you guys can see on Steam, the review is actually mixed. It's mixed reviews. So this is actually crazy. Like over 32,000 reviews for Monster Hunter Wilds. First one right here is like not recommended. A lot of people like this. And then we also have recommended over here. We have not recommended, not recommended. A lot of people are saying not recommended simply because the game is just poorly unoptimized. I don't think these people are saying that the game isn't good. Like when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to story, when it comes to, you know, bosses or whatever, like the monsters. I don't think they're saying that the game is bad. I think they're saying not recommended because of performance issues. Like if we read this one right here, this person literally says, I absolutely love this game. However, in the technical state that it is in, I simply cannot recommend it. Capcom needs to stop releasing their games in such a sorry state. I will edit my review once this is fixed, but right now it's an absolute mess. So the game is great. Content is great, but performance of the game, that's the real issue. And it's mostly on PC, it's on Steam. It's not on PlayStation. The real problem is on Steam. And, I've seen some ridiculous arguments of people saying, well, let me go and switch my screen. Some people are saying, well, it's not a problem because it's not happening to me. I'm not going through these issues. It's just a loud minority. It's like, what, bro? Like, the fact that you're going to sit here and disregard the issues that this game has, like you're going to completely ignore that Monster Hunter Wilds is not performing well on PC and say that, well, if it's not happening to me, then it doesn't exist. Like, what type of mindset is that? It's kind of weird. So, I mean, I can literally show you guys some examples here if I can actually find it real quick. So we have one comment over here. This person says, runs perfectly fine with 4090 on my PC, no performance hiccups whatsoever or any low textures. I even went full immersive and used a Meta 3 for a screen for a bit. Works perfectly. No idea what people are complaining about. Come on, bro. Are you serious, man? So that's what we're gonna do. Now we're just gonna completely disregard everybody's complaints. We're gonna completely disregard the issues game has when it comes to optimization just because your experience is really good. Like, I don't understand this mindset where people, they say, okay, because the game is doing really well for me, then it should do really well for everybody else. That's kind of odd, you know what I'm saying? That's really odd. That's just like a bad take. But yeah, there are like a lot of people just completely disregarding this issue. Like this person says runs fine for me, seems like the loud minority are at it again. Oh my gosh, man, absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, for Steam, seems like a lot of people are having issues with the game. It's like a mixed review as of to right now. And yeah, it seems like the game definitely has some issues, guys. But when it comes to gameplay and everything else, it's totally fine. Totally fine. But I would honestly recommend you guys to get the game on PlayStation instead. Get the game on console because I don't want you guys to spend $70 on to get the game on PC and you're not even enjoying the game because it's poorly unoptimized and it's not performing well for you. So just get the game on console because it seems like console is the way to go. Yes, you're gonna have to play that, pay that PS Plus, which sucks. But I would honestly, spend my money on something that actually works pretty well versus spending my money on, a game that performs in like 30 FPS and it's just pixelated, pixelated combat. That's a horrible experience and I don't want to have that. So yeah, that's pretty much like the issue with Monster Hunter Wilds. Other than that, I don't really see any other issue with the game. It seems like a lot of people are actually enjoying the game, which is really great. Monster Hunter is a great game. Like Monster Hunter is just a good game overall. Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, like it's such a good game. And it's actually nice the fact that Monster Hunter Wilds is also pretty good as well. It's just that when it comes to optimization and performance, the game is not doing really well, which is questionable. But they should definitely, get to the bottom of this and actually fix it. Because if I see this on my fucking screen, I'm gonna crash out, bro. I'm honestly gonna crash out because this looks unbearable. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Adios.